sip of water. It's the What Up Doe, the What Up Doe, the What Up Doe Show. It's time to recognize if you don't know. It's the What Up Doe, the What Up Doe, the What Up Doe Show. It's time to recognize if you don't know.
The What Up Doe Show. Your commentary on sports, entertainment, and alternative news.
What up, though, y'all? It is a Monday morning, and it's time for the What Up, Doe, the What Up, Doe, the What Up, Doe Show. Yo, what up, though? It's your boy T. Wilson. I am live on a Monday morning, and I am pretty hyped up, man, because, you know, I love Mondays. It is an opportunity to get it right one more again, and I'm glad to have that opportunity. Aren't you, though? You should be, too. We got a long list of birthdays, so let's run down the list, man. I got my nephew, big nephew. What up, though, TJ? That's Thaddeus Wilson Jr. Big up to big TJ. An old family friend. She's not old. She's a family friend that goes way back with us. Miss Kim Crosby. How you doing, Kim? My sister-in-law, Tanya Wilson. What's up, Tanya? Also, I got the beautiful and talented Natasha Carrero Berry, Bridget Wright, Christopher Williams, Tiffany Samuels, and last but not least, Ricky Gillum. Happy birthday to all of y'all. And it's a lot to cover and not a lot of time to cover it. So since we got that out the way, let's go and get this party started. Yeah, y'all already know. This party here and this conversation gotta start in one place, one only. Detroit! Yesterday, Tony Romo has spent the entire 2014 NFL season subverting narratives. Ones that said he couldn't win big games or ascend in December fell by the wayside, crashing down as the Dallas Cowboys won the NFC East for the first time since 2009. On Sunday, Romo continued that trend by exercising his postseason demons. The Pro Bowl quarterback hit Terrence Williams for an 8-yard touchdown, and the Cowboys' defense held for the final 2:32 as Dallas earned a thrilling 24-20 comeback victory over the Detroit Lions in their wild card matchup at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, a.k.a. Jerry World, albeit amidst a whirlwind of controversy. Down 20-7 midway through the third quarter, following a Matt Prater field goal. The Cowboys scored the game's final 17 points, thanks to a comeback that was equal parts impressive and confounding. Each time the Lions appeared to be regaining momentum, Dallas would score a big play, whether via its own offense or controversial officiating decisions. The winning drive was set up by a controversial picked-up flag against Dallas that would have given Detroit a first down in field goal range. Instead, they picked up the flag, and it was 4th and 1. A flag that was justified, and they didn't explain the call change. Short side note, according to a referee that was not in the game, he said Dez went onto the field without a helmet to argue the call. An uncalled penalty all its own. He should have got a flag. Should have been 2 penalties if I was in the damn game. Then on the ensuing drive, the Lions stopped the Cowboys 4 times. All 4 stops were overturned by defensive penalties, giving them another shot, another shot, another shot, and then another shot, which eventually led to the winning touchdown pass. Whatever, Cowboy fans. A win's a win, but whatever. For my Detroit fans, let me say this.
Detroit!
Don't feel bad. Don't even. They're just not there yet. This happens to teams before they're ready. It's just not their time. If it was their time, this would not have happened. They were up 20-7, so they should not have been put in a position where that call would have made a difference. Okay, so that's the main thing to remember. They put themselves in a position where that call made a difference, and they didn't have to. They didn't have to allow that. They were up big enough. They had a big enough lead. They could have kept Palin on, and this never would have come down to one call or 5 calls, if you want to count the 4 calls, the holding penalties that you can call any play you want to call it. The 4 calls that helped them get that last touchdown. If you want to, it shouldn't have came down to 5 calls. I mean, it really shouldn't have. I agree with you. I get your beef. I do understand, and I do think that was a little bit of a hose job in that regard. I thought it was a bad call to pick up the flag. I thought those 4 penalties in that ensuing drive was helping Dallas a lot. It kept giving them chances, but it was 4th and 1. Why not go for it? He showed absolutely no confidence in his offense by not going for that, and too much confidence in the defense by putting the ball back into the defensive hands instead of seeing if his offense can get that yard. And they've been running pretty good all day. It's not like Drake Bell wasn't picking up yards. I think they could have got that yard, man. They should have went for it, and I think that was a mistake. And so with the fact that they blew a 13-point lead, coupled with the fact that they made the cowardly call to not go for that 4th and 1, I don't think that the bad officiating should serve as an excuse for this one. So, but don't feel bad.
Detroit!
They had a good season, a very good season. They're coming along. They've come a long way. Right now, it's all about locking up Ndamukong Suh so we can have him back and try this again, man. Give it time, and it works out. You just got to give it time. It's just not our time. That's all, man. Oh, don't be too upset. Take it in stride, baby. Detroit versus everybody. In the other games, the Colts pulled away from the Bengals en route to a 26-10 victory. In the Saturday games, Baltimore annihilated the Steelers 30-17 to move on to New England next week. And they ain't scared of New England. I know one thing. The Patriots better be concerned because Flacco is back to playing like playoff Flacco, and that defense is back to playing like that playoff defense. And they are not afraid of the New England Patriots. Carolina topped a hobbled Arizona team that could only muster up an all-time playoff low 78 yards in the 27-16 defeat. And with all that aside, folks, the biggest news of the weekend came yesterday morning as legendary and longtime broadcaster Stuart Scott for ESPN died Sunday morning after an extended battle with cancer. Stuart Scott was 49 years old.
When I was a 26-year-old sports center anchor from New York City, a Jewish kid from New York City walking onto the set and being teamed up with a guy who I'd seen on television but had never met before. A proud African-American Chicagoan by way of North Carolina due to his school, Bleeding Carolina Blue. And the two of us became married on television, essentially, referred to himself as my TV wife. And I cannot believe that I'm now sitting here on television reporting to you the news that I heard about 10 minutes ago. And that Stuart Scott has died. One of the most joyful, full of life individuals I have ever come across. Lived his life the way his parents wanted him to live it, the way he felt he should live it. He broadcast the same way, a groundbreaking broadcaster in the world of sports television. I love this man. I still love this man. And the fact that he has passed away is absolutely mind-boggling and a travesty. He battled cancer as bravely as anybody else. And I know there are many people out there who are battling cancer right now and Stuart would want you to know to keep fighting. Keep fighting, and that he didn't lose this battle of cancer. He fought it as bravely as he possibly could. And as you go to bed tonight, flip your pillow over to the cool side. And before you go to sleep, as Stuart would say, you hit your knees tonight and pray to the big man for his beautiful daughters who he loved, Taylor and Sydney.
I didn't know it was on.
Pray for Stuart and his family, his parents, his siblings, his girlfriend, his ex-wife, everybody who he loved. And that includes you, the sports fans, even those who hated on him. He thrived on it. That's because he is who he is and was, I can't believe it's the past tense, who he was. Stuart Scott is dead at the age of 49. I love you, Stuart. Wherever you are, Godspeed. Rest in peace.
Yeah, Stuart Scott of ESPN, man, rest in peace. That was a sad story, man, and yeah, that was the biggest story of the weekend, needless to say.
What Up Doe Entertainment?
Sarah Palin is biting back at critics who blasted her for the Instagram pic of her son standing on the family dog. She took a shot at Obama in the process. Well, of course she did. That's what she does. She took to Facebook Saturday targeting PETA for bashing her, calling the organization hypocrites that only give passes to celebrities who have helped them.
Did you go crazy? Did you go crazy when your heroic man of your lifetime, Barack Obama, revealed he actually enjoyed eating dog meat? Did you?
Palin accused the organization of celebrity worshiping, then added that we treat Jill Doggy, my doggy Jill, better than many people treat human beings. A rep for PETA said Palin's Facebook response shows us that she knows PETA about as well as she knows geography.
This is Murray Riley Jr. from the Stomp and Shout Talk Show, now the Sky Shout Radio Podcast. You're listening to my man, Tim Wilson of the What Up Doe Show. Keep it tuned in, everyone.
Taye Diggs and Dina Menzel took their sweet time pulling the plug on their marriage. Nearly a year after separating, no divorce papers were filed, but the couple finally and secretly did the deed. Diggs and Menzel announced their split in December 2013, but there was no further action until November, when Taye filed the divorce petition in New York. Looks like they hammered out all their issues, child custody and divvying up assets, during the delay because the divorce was quickly finalized on December 3rd. Diggs and Menzel were married for 10 years and have a 5-year-old son named Walker. The breakup has been as amicable as things can be, and they've both remained committed to raising their son together and peacefully. That is, in the face of such bad news as divorce, that is good to hear that they do plan to handle that responsibly and as a team and peacefully. That's good. I like to hear that, man. You know, personal reasons.
What Up Doe News?
In Conway, South Carolina, a man appeared in a mugshot with an extremely battered face due to a beating he absorbed after sexually assaulting his nephew's girlfriend. William Matson was booked January 1st for first-degree criminal sexual conduct. By the time officers took his mugshot, Matson had already been dealt a punishment by his nephew, who beat Mattson after finding him sexually assaulting his girlfriend. After a New Year's Eve party, the nephew had brought his girlfriend back to his father's house, where Mattson also lived. The nephew briefly left and returned to the sounds of moaning emanating from a room he shared with his girlfriend. He kicked the door open, saw Mattson on top of his girl. He started striking him repeatedly and driving him from the house. Mattson returned as the nephew spoke to the officers and contended that he and the girl were drinking after his nephew dropped her off, and the encounter was consensual. The girl says otherwise, but of course she would. Look what her boyfriend just did to the guy that was hitting it. Imagine what he'd do to her if she gave it up.
We interrupt this podcast to tell you about Latone Heart and the 730 Show.
Pop culture from the dark side.
He's a jackass.
730. Resisting arrest, eating dry ramen noodles, stalking my ex on Facebook. Yeah, I may need medicine. Blacker than chewed up tobacco. The 730 Show. Available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Spreaker.
In Burlington, Iowa, a woman is facing a harassment charge for having a box of cow poop mailed to her neighbors after they repeatedly complained about her dog's barking. Kimberly Capdevilla sent the smelly package to neighbor Steve Rowland and Mary Eipert through website poopsenders.com after the neighbors repeatedly complained to police about Capdevilla's dog barking during the past 3 years. On December 13th, Rowland received a package in the mail from poopsenders.com. Des Moines County District Associate Court documents state inside the package was a substance that was identified as cow shit. On December 29th, officers spoke with Kimberly, who stated she had the package sent to the Rowlands because of the ongoing problems between the two families. Poopsenders.com, which offers deliveries of cow, elephant, and gorilla shit through the United States Postal Service, did not break the law by filling Capdevilla's order. The website says customers may not use our service to threaten, constitute harassment, violate or a legal restraint, or any other unlawful purpose. The customer agrees this is a gag gift, a novelty service for entertainment only, and that is their only intention. Therefore, you can only send doo-doo to a friend as a joke, not as a punishment. So now you know the law. So if the cops ever try to get you on it, you know the law. It was just for fun. It was for a gag. You can't arrest me if it's for a gag. According to what I just read. In Lizhou, China, a Chinese court upheld a 13-year jail sentence for a man convicted of purchasing and eating 3 endangered tigers in separate incidents. Now, I heard they like cats, but I didn't know they ate tigers. The man, identified by the surname Zhu, Zhu. Why did they pick that name? Organized 3 trips to Lizhou, Guangdong province in 2013 for himself and 14 other people. During each trip, Zhu purchased a tiger, which was then killed via electric shock, dismembered, and served to the group as food. Delectable. One of the incidents was recorded on a cell phone camera, and the video was handed over to police. Snitch in a potty. Snitch in a package. Snitch in a box. Investigators searched Zhu's home and found animal skeletons, a tiger's penis, and remains of endangered animals, including giant geckos and a cobra. What's he doing with the tiger's penis is what I want to know. He didn't stand a tiger's penis chance in hell.
What up, everybody? This is Gil Lowry from the Onyx Truth Podcast, and you were listening to my homeboy T. Wilson from the What Up Doe Show. So keep it locked, fam.
In North Walsham, England, a British man dropped nearly 500 big ones on life-saving surgery for his constipated pet, goldfish. The fish owner originally balked at the $463 price tag of the procedure, which was a good idea to balk at it, but returned just a few minutes after rejecting the surgery to say he had changed his mind, which was a bad idea to change his freaking mind. Faye Bethel, a veterinarian surgeon at the clinic, told the What Up Doe Show she knocked out the goldfish using anesthetized water and operated on the fish to remove a lump blocking his bottom, blocking his a-hole, blocking his rectum, blocking his duke shoot. The goldfish surgery was a first for her, but she previously carried out similar procedures on more valuable fish like carp. There was nothing special about the fish. He just liked it a lot. People love their pets. But that was one little expensive-ass goldfish. He spent $500 on a damn surgery to open up his butthole. What kind of a guy does that? I don't care. I don't know. Don't give a damn. Just show me the money, bitches. The fish was about 2 years old at the time of the surgery and could now live for up to 10 years. What Up Doe Show is long today, ain't it? St. Louis, Missouri, Illinois man suffering pain in his arm underwent surgery to remove a turn signal rod embedded in his body when he crashed his Ford Thunderbird 51 years ago. 75-year-old Arthur Lampett was treated for injuries to the surface of his arm after the 1963 crash, but he did not know anything had remained stuck there until he set off a courthouse's metal detector about 15 years ago. So he's known that he's been carrying this thing for 15 years. Lampett said his doctor performed an x-ray and determined there was a metallic object in his arm, but it was recommended it be left where it was as there was no pain or loss of functionality in his arm. The retired real estate agent said the arm finally began to hurt a few weeks ago, and a specialist recommended surgery when the affected area started to swell. Well, that's just swell. Surgeons operated on the arm for about 45 minutes on New Year's Eve and discovered the cause of Lampett's problem was indeed the 7-inch turn signal lever that was stuck in his arm for 51 years. All right, it's now time for a What Up Doe Show closing commentary. I was really I was going to pass on this because of the time, but I'm going to go ahead and touch it. I guess I won't stay on it too long, but I want to say big up to the Hoopla crew. Hippity hoopla! They was talking all of that hippity hoopla! Over the weekend. So I gave it a listen, and evidently the host of the show now, because evidently I said somebody's name, I was giving them a shout, and I mentioned somebody because at the beginning of the show they have this drop, and I thought the guy was on the show, so I gave the guy a shout, and evidently the host of the show, whose name I still don't know, I guess he got offended because I said Black Jesus and he's a white dude. So I know it's Storm, it's Dino, and the white dude. For all intents, let's just call him Boy. So Boy was offended because I didn't know his name, and Dino was talking all of his stuff. You know Dino. Dino was talking as well. So, but it's all good. Just know that if you had a problem that I didn't know your name, guess whose problem that is? Yep, you probably. I'm sure you got it right. You got it right. You got the right answer. Even if you didn't say it out loud, you know the right answer. Because the show the hell ain't mine. And let me ask you this. I get why it matters to you that I didn't know your name, but I don't get why you think it should matter to me. That's the part I'm not grasping right now. So he did a little name calling and, some shit talking. And that's cool. But, and it is, I tell you what, in all fairness, I will say this. This is why I originally had an issue. What I originally took issue with something they said, and it's just a pet peeve of mine. It ain't really them. They everybody says this, and I stand on the island, but I still stand on my island with substance. There was a comment made a few weeks back when they were talking about how long the Western Conference has been dominant over the Eastern Conference in the NBA, and I think that's such hogwash, and it just people don't look at numbers. They just look at the wrong numbers, in my opinion. And I hear it all the time, and when I can't say nothing back, I get frustrated because I'd love to challenge that concept. But let's look at. I'm going to just go ahead and throw a fact out there. You research it and say what you got to say about it, because I don't go by records, regular season records. Oh, the 8th seed in our division would have made it there. Yeah, that could be because you only got 8 good teams. It could be because you only got 10 good teams, and the rest of the conference is garbage, and so you beat up on a little man, just top heavy. But I count championships. Nothing else matters to me. And if it matters to you, well, then we got 2 different reasons to root for a team. Nothing counts to me but championships. Okay? The All-Star game don't matter because they don't play no D. It's not a real game. It's more about the bitches than it is about the game. Everybody know that the chicks are going out there to try to a bunch of hot chicks going to be out there trying to score the NBA players, so they ain't going to be wearing much and they're going to be getting tipsy, and if you got the right game, the right cologne, or the right something, you might be able to score one and add another area code to your resume. That's all. That is more the NBA weekend, All-Star weekend is more about that than it is about the game. Everybody know that. Everybody that is somebody knows that. All right, so let's be real. So the All-Star game don't count to me. Regular season records don't count to me either because, again, the more balanced your conference, the tougher your conference, the more likely your record is not going to be as good, actually. I count championships. My best against your best and who wins. My best against your best and who wins. That's the measurement. So, in all fairness, from the year 2000, let's go with the 2000 decade, 2000 to 2009, that decade was dominated by the Western Conference. And that decade is the only decade in the history of the NBA that the Western Conference has won more championships than the Eastern Conference. In the history of the NBA. But, they want to take that one little decade, that Western Conference is so dominant and has been for so long, blah, blah. From 2000 to 2009 is the only decade in the history of the NBA that the Western Conference has won more championships than the Eastern Conference. And it's like, what, 3-2 so far this year? This decade? From 2010 to date, it's 2-2, 3-2, I think. 3-2. Yeah, because the 0 counts as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 5 played so far, 3-2. Western Conference up 3-2. And before you start the argument, but that's Miami. It's with the Western Conference. That's what I hear. Yeah, but that's just because of Miami. The Western Conference, since it's so tough, since there's so many great teams in the Western Conference, riddle me this. Why is it that since 1999 to today, Dallas Mavericks has gone twice, Oklahoma City has gone once, Dallas won one, lost one, Oklahoma City went once and lost. Other than that, it's been all Spurs and Lakers since 1999 to date. Only 2 teams go every freaking year. Out of all these fantastic teams, none of them are good enough to make it just because they're soft. The West is finesse and the East is the beast. It's because when it comes down to it, on a good day, when it comes down to the real, in the playoffs where they play hard, they ain't got no heart. Now, somebody should step up now because Kobe's day is coming to pass, and I don't see the Lakers surviving the post-Kobe era. I don't see the post-Kobe era being a good thing for the Lakers. It's going to be tough for them to find another Kobe. And the Tim Duncan era is going to be coming to a pass soon too. They're getting old, but they built their structure in a more team type structure, which I think they'll still be good, but I don't know that they'll be championship caliber much longer. And there'll be somebody else to step into the fight. But since '99 to date, it's been Spurs and Lakers, except for 3 years, and they lost 2 of those 3. So. That's what it was all about. Just so you know, boy. And you ain't got to go with the name calling. I didn't do any name calling just because I didn't know your freaking name. So what? Guess what? I don't want to. I don't care. It matters to one. It matters to you. Storm, I apologize. I ain't know Storm's name. Storm, I ain't got no beef with Storm. She ain't say nothing. And she's cool. And Dino. That's all I got for you. Peace out. Press your crease out. Keep the police out while I bust his niece out. And I'm
and in case I don't see you,
like
good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
What up, though?